Hello and welcome to a very special episode of World Traveler Cooking. Now, a couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine reached out to me and said, I really like German chocolates. Could you do a video on them? I thought about it and sure, why not? I've done some how to eat videos. Never really looking at something that seems as mundane as chocolates and how they differ from place to place, but they really do. And we could do a whole series of confections in different countries. But where we are right now is we'll do German chocolate since I'm in Germany. And we'll go ahead and cover a few different types. Now, these aren't the only kinds of chocolates you'll find in Germany. You'll find a lot of them, but I looked around and I tried to pick the confections that struck me as most typically German. So we're going to go ahead and go through these. There are many different kinds in many of these different types of confections, and there are many more as well. So whole sets of other kinds of pralines, for example, which are just another word that we would typically use in, I think, American English to mean truffle or something like that. But there are basically three main types that I decided to cover today. The first are the Marzipan Pralines. The second are the more sort of cookie or Thaler type ones with fruit and marzipan. And finally, ones that are filled with some sort of a liquor of some sort. And these are typically with a sugar crust inside and then a liquor syrup. And this is set up in such a way that they don't quickly leak out. So we're going to go ahead and go through each of these in turn. And aside from the liquor ones, I'm actually going to cut them open so you can see. The first one I have here is a basic Marzipan Truffle. Marzipan Praline. And these are called truffles, of course, because of the shape. They're also sometimes called Kugeln, or balls, or scoops. And if we cut it open, what you'll see is you have a chocolatey marzipan mass in the middle with a little bit of nougat inside that, and covered with chocolate. These taste more or less like you would expect them to taste. You get marzipan, you get chocolate. It is chocolatey, nutty, just really nice. The second one, which I've never tried before, primarily because I thought the name seemed kind of weird, is the Mozart Cocoon. Now this is a specific kind of confection specific to Germany and Austria. It's of course named after the Mozart composer. And these are filled with a mixture of nougat, marzipan, and pistachio marzipan. So I'm going to cut this in half and let's see what it looks like inside. What you see here, the top here, is standard marzipan. The green layer below it is pistachio marzipan. You have nougat in the middle. And the whole thing's coated in chocolate. So let's go ahead and try this. This has a really refined flavor. It's quite different than I would have expected. Really, really nice. I like this. Had not tried them before, definitely worth trying now. If you haven't tried these and you like chocolates and nut combinations, this is really, really good. Now for comparison, let's look at these ones here. These are also from Lubeck. Well, these are from Lubeck. They are also Marzipan Pralines. And we have the green ones being Pistachio. These ones being Pineapple, Orange, and Espresso. So, bring it up here for you to see. Pistachio, Pineapple, Orange, Espresso. I'm not going to try all of them right now because I still want to go through the others. But I'm going to try a pistachio one for comparison. These are good too, but they're not as refined and complex as the Mozart Cocoon. I think of the ones we've tried so far, I think my favorite's the Mozart Cocoon. Finally, we have the Marilyn Tower. You'll also find Marilyn Tower. But I said to do Marilyn instead of Pflaumen Rum. Pflaumen Rum are like plum and rum. The Marilyn is a yellow plum, golden plum, and then this is it's called Thaler because it's like a dollar coin, and it has marzipan and fruit, sort of like a jam in the inside. So if you look at the inside, you see marzipan, and then you see a jam. And these are really good. I really like these. So what makes these really particularly good is that they have sort of the nuttiness of the marzipan complements the fruit very nicely. The chocolate is just not really so noticeable. This is really about the fruit and the marzipan. It's really nice. We still have two more. I got this one. Schrader is one of the nicer brandy distilleries in Germany. And they have this one, which is raspberry brandy in chocolate. So we're going to go ahead and just try one. To be honest, although I really like Schrader's brandies, I'm not actually that much of a fan of this chocolate. The reason is, the brandy itself has a nice fruity flavor, but this is overwhelmed and dampened by the chocolate quite a bit. So it's it doesn't really have the kind of depth that I would have liked to try have here. Finally, we have this odd one, the Brocken Tropfen. This is an herbal or bitter liqueur inside a bitter chocolate. And I think the idea is that since you typically eat chocolate for dessert, or possibly drink a digestive for dessert, why not just simply put the bitter liquor inside the bitter chocolate? So we're going to try one of these. What they look like. Again, I'm not going to cut them open because it's just a sugar crust inside it with a syrup with a lot of this liquor in it. This is more or less like you would expect. It is just a bitter liquor inside a bitter chocolate. Anyway, I'm just going to give a couple quick final thoughts here, and then we can go forward. The German love of marzipan is really quite incredible. There is a lot to it. Germans will take marzipan and they'll make little potatoes out of them and sell. That's your Christmas cookie. That's probably the most German Christmas cookie there is. Even more than say Lebkuchen. So the fact that German marzipan plays such a role in the selection here is no accident. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this. If you find it interesting or useful, or there's some things here that you'd like to try, I hope that you will click the subscribe and click the little bell so that you get more videos here. At any rate, I'll provide links to all the things that I've tasted in the comments or in the description. Bon appetit, and see you in my next food video, which will be in less than a week.